Welcome everybody back here to your wonderful studio coming from Berlin for your coverage of the Dota 2 Championship League. I'm your host as always. Well, not as always. I kind of come and go all the time, but I'm your kind of consistent guy. TobiWan bringing your English live stream for this evening where we have the Americans, Evil Geniuses. They are basically one death away. I say death, one loss, which is the equivalent of death in Dota, away from elimination from the D2CL. They must win this one in order to, one, keep Fnatic's wins to only one, and to bring their wins actually up to one. That'll let them compete for that third position when they go up against VP as their last match here for the group stage. If you want to check out all the details, d2cl.org is the place to do it. It has all the grids, the schedules, and all that kind of jazz, because it's only like 3 matches or so before we actually hit our playoffs. It's that quick. And then that's only another 4 best-of-3s and a best-of-5. It's short, it's sweet, and it's good prize money too. $50,000 up for grabs, plus 25% of the revenue, which is made from the Dota TV ticket sales, will go to your way. Your way, the players' way, with the prize money. And of course, the players, probably a good thing to bring up right now, as we look over towards our American lineup. Evil Geniuses being led by their captain, Old Man Fear, and they're still mixing up a couple of things. They went to ESWC, were able to claim only 2nd position there. They had a lot of troubles up against Team Empire. But, well, no real surprise there. Team Empire playing really great Dota of late. And, of course, a team which will be playing up against Team Empire later on tonight in the ISO Cup is this team, Fnatic, a team which a lot of people would have like, oh, we invited to the DreamHack match. I'm not quite sure about this. There's so many other better teams out there right now. But they're still top 8 for TI3. They were still also able to do a really, really fantastic job of pulling themselves back up after their dip. They played some very questionable Dota, I think is the best way of putting it, just shortly after TI3. But then they went down to Korea. They were able to go 4-0. Taking home $14,000, obliterating Underrateds, which was the Korean team, and also doing the same to Team Liquid with their Wisp Tiny and Wisp Ricky Maru strat. Was basically the only strategies they played when they were down there. They kept it very, very basic, very normal, and what worked to the strengths of their players as well. For now, though, they're up against EG. It's a whole new kettle of fish. Ever since they came back, they are basically the only European team where Wisp is still being banned against them. They refuse to let this hero go, and even with the change up that happened to Wisp, where you're able to have no stun now, it's 100% slow on 100 on both movement speed as well as on attack speed. You look at that and you go, oh well, okay, maybe he's not that great anymore. But nope. Fnatic disagree. They still say he's a wonderful field medic. He's a wonderful buff up, so he's morale as well. And he's also everywhere you need him to be. But of course, when you ban out heroes like Wisp, you take out heroes like Pugna as well. You're not going to give Rat Dota a Pugna. You can grab up the Lich. Nature's Prophet, also another contender right now for Fnatic. I know Trixie had a great time with him last night. Mr. Skadi up on Prophet with Mjolnir. And they were his first 2 key items that came up on that Nature's Prophet. It was a big match last night. It was a big match last night. Oh, I'm still whirling from that one. I'm glad I jumped in. I got in like halfway through that matchup. But the Fnatic guys playing Rat Dota, which a lot of you may say, oh, it's Rat Dota. We don't like Rat Dota. When you watch as a spectator, you freaking love Rat Dota. You absolutely love it. Everything's on the line. Everything comes down to decisions you make for jumping in or jumping out. One player which can jump in or jump out now will be Trixie. He won't get the Nature's Prophet in this game. Of course, it's a best of 3, so maybe later on. But the Clockwork pickup comes in for Fnatic, as well as the Lich. An almost impossible lane to really go up against. You're already getting the sacrifice experience. You're getting Clockwork, who can give you a buffer with the cogs. You've got Lich, who's got quite a decent nuke coming out from his Frost Nova, I believe it's called. I want to double check. Frost Blast. I should have stuck with my... Oh, don't doubt yourself, Toby. Don't doubt yourself. You know this. The Frost Blast coming out from Lich. And then later on, you'll get the ultimate. But more importantly, it's the creep lane control, which you're able to get from both Lich as well as Clockwork. So, EG, it's going to be a rough time laning up against them, but they pick up Bounty Hunter, a man which can roam around and pick off Lich in the later portions of the game quite easily if he's got even a shred of experience on him. And Crystal Maiden, aggressive support as always. Very basic kind of pickup. That guy would have been the other possibility. The Veer could have gone. The Visage, who now gets banned out. Chen will be taken out by Fly, so he's feeling right now that EG, you already got a Crystal Maiden. They don't want them playing massively defensive. We farm till late game. That's what Chen does really allow for. Or farm until the 10 to 15 minute mark, and then we decide to push. That would be a lot more concerning for them. Fnatic want EG on the front lines, battling them directly. And you can see EG doesn't want to do that. They're taking out Venomance, they're taking out Visage, they're taking out the heroes that enable Fnatic to have an aggressive kind of support. They may just be forced to go. I'd say you can still do it. You can still go with the Rubik pickup. This both for EG as well as Fnatic. Rubik, a great pickup against a Clockwork Cogs, mainly just battling on the whole positioning style things. And then you've also got Rubik to come in for Fnatic. You've got Track to steal, you've got Invis to steal, you've got Crystal Maiden's abilities to steal, and you've still got another 2 cores as well as a support to come up here from EG. So there's a lot of great abilities on the field. Got a feeling though Fnatic going to go full on greed here and pick up the Enigma. You've already got a Lich available. The other option is you go all out. And I'm not saying Enigma plus this guy because obviously their Senji's not great. But the Faceless Void is someone I kind of want to just throw out into the pool. Jaro will also work. I was thinking, the main thing I was thinking about was Team Fight Control. The Chrono is possibly the easiest way to do that, as long as you don't hit it wrong. And then you got the Call Down, which is the option the Fnatic decide to go for. So we get Call Down, which is going to make it very difficult to split when the Lich ulti goes. We don't have a Darkseer picked up just yet, but that's not going to work. As far as, like, obviously you've already got a Clockwork on the field. If you're going to go Clockwork and Darkseer together, it's been done, but the Clockwork turns into this kind of support role while the Darkseer becomes the hard farmer. But it can be a really aggressive lane when you do it. Who was the American team that was doing that all the time? I think it was Liquid that was playing around with that. But it was quite interesting to watch. This is very difficult to also predict halfway through the draft. You get both the Clockwork as well as the Darkseer in there. You got to work out and say, okay, on the off lane, what are they going to run here? Is this going to just be a Darkseer jungle? Are they actually considering running 2 heroes in the off lane? It was KSI back in the old CIS roster days. I'm talking like 2 months ago with the old rosters of CIS, where he would be playing up the support role of the Clockwork. And it really worked. It was an amazing all you needed was level 6, and he was like straight in there. So they just found him the space to find the level 6, and then from there he just started ganking and initiating and having his other callers on the lane going, thank you very much, I'll take the kill, I'll take the money and everything else. It was nice. So Fly now. He's got to have his 4th pickup. He's already got the gyrocopter. Could be thinking about the puck as well in this scenario. You're going up against a Mirana. It's still not an escape mechanism away from the Dream Call. You can, in fact, all 3 heroes right now from EG, unless they get BKBs up and running, they won't have escape mechanisms. The only issue I'm currently feeling is from the Fnatic lineup, where you're not 100% sure who's going to be that middle lane for EG. So they go with what's been their safest hero of late, and that's something they've really, really preferred, and that's going to be the Invoker. So Harney's Invoker coming towards the field. And Fear. Well, he knows he's up against the Invoker now. And, well, I'm still waiting for a good counter up against Invoker. We saw OD attempted up against Invoker last night. It didn't really go too fantastically. In fact, it was quite the opposite of that. All needed some good rotations in. But Fear, good roaming ganking is going to be the best thing you can have. And speaking of roaming ganking, it's the hero which Fear, I think, has played more than any other man in the Dota scene of recent times. And that's going to be the Earthshaker coming in. I actually want to check out the list of what's been happening with Fear of late for his heroes and bring up my side. Okay, Lashrak, SK, Lashrak, Chen, Bane, Enigma. No Earthshaker then. ES, ES, Enchantress, ES, Naga, ES, Enchantress, ES, ES. That's his games dating back to the 31st of October. Right there, as far as the heroes he plays. Timbersaur's now going to be banned out by Fnatic. So they're still feeling one last big hero. That could have been the mid-solo. Which means Jaya would take up the Mirana here. And more than likely he will. Of course, EG has been experimenting a little bit more. I believe they want to be changing up their lanes. Their recent game they played up, like the latest game they played up was the D2L, which is EG's tournament. And they had Fear taking up that support role. Jaya was still on carry. In fact, nothing changed at all. It was Universe off lane with Fog being the support. Nothing changed. Fear tweeted out after
Fnatic's turn to pick.
ESWC finals, and said there's going to be some changes coming in for EG, and everyone thought, oh, it's a roster change, oh, it's a roster change. And then all of a sudden it was like, no, it's not meant to be a roster change. It's just meant to be changes, like positioning, drafting, kind of that kind of thing. But it seems like EG will have a Beastmaster be played by MSS. He'll take that in towards the middle lane, so Mr. Mojo Storm Scout, or Storm Stout, sorry, is the Beastmaster. Fear to take its Earthshaker, Jaya Mirana. Crystal Man to be played by Fogged and University Offlane Bounty Hunter. While Fnatic, they go for something a little bit more unconventional. And I can say it's unconventional, even though it is starting to come back a little bit more in different games. EG, as I said, they played it in their own. They played it themselves, so it was played by Fear. Support combination. In this game, it's really meant to be a controller during a fight. That epicenter of the SK, I'm actually a huge fan of the SK. I love playing him in pubs. You get arcane boots, and you're forever able to do whatever you want to. It's an amazing hero. And if you get a Blink Dagger on top of that, your jump and initiation, when you've also got the change-up that happened to Sandstorm, was a couple of patches back, but changing the way it basically the invis works. So you got more time to move in and out of the invis and jump yourself around. It's okay. Really, Fear? You're the one doing the draft, man. Yeah, but the way the invis works, it makes it a lot more of a maneuverable hero when it comes to fights after you've jumped in. Because most of the time, like you talk about heroes like Vengeful Spirit, who are like, if you can get a swap and a stun off, you've done your job. Because you put yourself with a swap into harm's way. But with an SK, you jump yourself in, you can get a multi-stun that comes out, and you've also got the ability to go invis and run yourself away again. So with that kind of combination, you become more than just a one-hit wonder. You basically become like Mariah Carey. She just keeps releasing albums over and over again, no matter how long until you thought she's going to die. I was a big Mariah Carey fan when I was a kid. But, yeah, let's not go into those details. But the other upside of this lineup is you've already got Era's cooldown, and you add No Tail on top of that one. So you've got the slow that comes out from the epicenter, which is 30%. Then you've got the cooldown, which also adds the missile slow. So missile 1 slow is 50%. So the first hit gives you the 50% slow. So you're coupling all this together with Fly's ultimate. When he lets off his frost, you add another slow on top of that one. The movement slow at 30%. Then you got Hani. You could be throwing down meteorites. You could be throwing deafening blasts. You could be doing cold snap. So every single time you take the damage, you're also going to stop in for a moment of a cold shiver. And then you got Trixie as the last one, Mr. Battery Assault. This Fnatic lineup has a lot of lockdown kind of control coming out of it. It's got good initiation. It's got good team fight. And it's got a lot of strong laning coming out of it as well. Not amazingly aggressive laning. This is more of a counter-initiation lineup at the very, very start. No Tal. Oh, you could have been a little bit more greedy, man. Have you not seen the ward throw up into this spot? Fear, he already knows it. He'll throw his ward down a little bit lower here. And now D-ward of a D-ward. No Tal's going to come back over here to do this. He's got to throw a sentry ward up into this little spot right here, and that'll be in range to D-ward this. The other great thing about, you see, he's not wanting to take that chance. You see, he's smack bang on the X. He is smack bang on the X. It's like, I'm wondering if that ward was a bait. They want to get this pull over. It's such a frustrating pull as well. One fissure to block up here. Creep wave pulls down, denies itself up to the ancient stack. And then this bottom lane achieves little to nothing. And you got Era's going to be down here. It's going to be basically not having a wave every couple of seconds. Well, actually, you can knock out almost every wave that comes down to that bottom lane. As long as Fear continues to have mana, you can knock it out. During the first section, you're only going to be able to do 2, though. No Tail. Are you gonna? Is he? I think he wants to. Arrows fly. Yeah, they're searching out for this. Notal is coming in, he knows, and he puts another sentry ward down. No, D-ward, D-ward, D-ward. He's going to do this and do this quick. They're going to have a battle of the D-ward. Battle of the D-ward. Committal, CM got it! And the Fissure makes sure with the last little bit of vision that Notal has, he cannot D-ward the first D-ward. Oh, that's frustrating. But on the bright side, Fear did have to use a Fissure to do that. And because he did that, you've now got the option to be pulling. Era's going to get his first levels up here. He's able to get 2 creep waves here. Fear's moving back to let off the Fissure for the next creep wave. But that's already taken away a lot of the control and frustration of this bottom lane. Because you've already got the first wave, you've already got your second level up. If you get stuck with only Rocker Barrage, you get no Missile Harassment or no Flat Cannon or something along those lines, then you'd be a little bit more frustrated. But when this can happen too, Fly starts doing his denials. Got to keep that sacrifice going. I was actually watching a Guide the Pyrian Flax linked out, which was, I don't know where these English guys come from, but they keep on doing fun and quirky guides about how to play heroes, but it was the Lich is now my new favorite hero. But one of the things which I remember Sing Sing told me about this one, and later on I was like, yeah, it makes perfect sense. When it comes to denying of creeps, you notice which one he took? He took the melee creeps. He doesn't take the range creep. And the guy which I watched said take the range creep, and I'm like, actually, in this lineup, it's better to take melee creeps. They're worth more experience, especially with the new changes to Lich. You want to be taking those guys with more experience. And then, on top of that, like, the range creeps are negligible. Oh, J.O., what are you doing, man? He's trying to pull the aggro over, but the 2 melee creeps are still going to come up. Might be enough for Notal to get a little bit of farm. Maybe some form of levels. No. But if you take out the range creep, like, you do stop the consistent damage of the creep wave, so in a way, you stop that range push. But on the flip side of it, if you take out the melee creeps, you lose the momentum for the wave. Oh, Trixie, you are so low, man. It's a good thing he's got himself a stout shield. The boots are also coming in handy. The Orb of Venom from Universe doesn't really make him as effective as he'd like it, but with no boots and the bounty onto the chase is a lot more difficult. How's Harney looking in the meantime? 2 levels up in the Quas. Normally he likes to bump up the Exort a lot more than the Quas, but MSS is doing a really good job here in the middle lane of keeping that Axe harassment going out, which means Honey needs to buff up the Quas a little bit more. He needs the regeneration. He's gone for the Null, he's gone for the Ring of Basilius. He's done this when he tries to rush into things like Orchids. Just keeps his options open for a little bit later on. There's the Smoke Gang trying to go on MSS, but MSS has to stay really close here. He doesn't have mana. In fact, this is coming even a worse time. Bottle's flying in. He's got to use a tango, and now he's a little bit too far. Notal, Cold Snap. They keep the attacks going before he's got a Burrow Strike. Now the Burrow Strike will go as well. The Ice Wall is going to hold MSS in position. One last attack actually comes from the Forge Spirit, not even from a hero. Notal had to back himself out because he basically committed so far and he was taking too much damage from the tower, so he needed some extra space. The first blood goes the way of Fnatic against Evil Geniuses. And as I said, what's on the line for this matchup? If EG lose this matchup, then they're out and Fnatic will go through. It is literally that simple. There won't be enough wins possible for EG to compete for the 3rd position. Number 1 position goes straight through the semi-finals, where the 2nd and 3rd from each group will play up. So, arrow. Too late. Saw the vision, just had a bit of a guess. Yeah, but second position of Group A will play up against 3rd position of Group B, and vice versa. This is the reason why only top 3 go through. You play a grand total. It's 4 or 5 games. I think it's actually. I got to bring it up on my side, so I keep it all in mind. You play 4 games. You play 4 best of 3s. So it's not really that much to play around with. There's only one team that's guaranteed that semi-final slot already, and that's Speed Gaming. They went 4-0 in their group, and that is with Liquid and Na'Vi in there too. And Na'Vi's not even guaranteed a way to get through this. They need to go 2-2 in their matchup. Mousesports as well as Dignitas are already sitting there, so if Na'Vi actually lose their matchup, they tie for 3rd position with Mousesports. And then they'll have to have a bit of a battle off. Top lane, looks like Bounty Hunter going down. Another rotation coming out from this SK. Now with a level 2 Pyro Strike, but also notice to his build, he's got an extra point up in stats here, as opposed to going into the Sandstorm. Now, normally I'm a big fan of Sandstorm because it lets you move in and out again, so you can roam out of this. But in this case, with his movement, with his rotations, he needs life points, he needs to survive. And having a little bit of extra mana in his pool too is not a bad thing to have up his sleeve. Problem now on the bottom lane, Fly, they've lost that Creep Wave again. Creep Wave comes in range of the tier 1 tower, so Jo is going to be very careful with these last hits underneath the tower and time him up nicely, while Fear keeps doing these fissures. He could actually throw another one off right now if he wants to pull the Creep Wave up, but he's going to wait for the next one and take it properly, which is that one. He just keeps denying it off to the Black Dragons. Rotation coming in towards the mid lane. Trixie got level 6. Move up. Fog, you're in trouble. Burrow strike up on him. The Raw to Revenge. Oh, that hook shot from Trixie well off the mark. Fog got his Nova up. Universe in the neighborhood as well. Able to get that track off. But the track... Gyro, why are you so low? That's the reason why. He's man fighting him. Puts the rocket off. Keeps Jo away. Fly, he doesn't really have enough harassment damage here, and, well, he could have kept chasing Jo down, but Jo decides to just TP straight back to base again. He fell on the gank on Era, Notal brings him a salve, so Era won't lose too much time on this bottom lane. Second out, no, I was waiting for his, he still needs his full wand and needs his face boots up on this gyrocopter. Even though we did see Era last night go treads on the gyro, a little bit something different. Universe running that bottle. He's not too concerned about the burn anymore from the cogs. It's only level 1 burn anyway from Trixie. And with the track up, Universe moves quick, he moves fast, and he moves with support. Fog comes in from the side, throws out the Nova. The cogs go down, but Fog won't come close enough to this. He just lets off the Frostbite. Universe, he has to walk out of it, and that's enough mana with a bottle. He doesn't have a Shuri Toss, and Trixie Battery Assault. He needed to keep running. He didn't know when Universe going to have that Shuri Toss available. With the stick charges and the bottle, you knew you'd have enough, so he was dead. So he just tried the Battery Assault and hoped the timing would be better for him, but just unable to stop the normal right-click attack. So we go 2-2 now on the board. Overall advantage. It's going to be negligible either way, even though Fnatic do have the experience advantage. And that's going to be because of probably the interference of this guy right here. It comes back the other way when EG started getting that fissure block off pull going their way. Jo might be looking for this rune. 8 minutes, and it's going to be a DD rune taken almost instantly by Notal. And if that Jo, he's going to be fine. He takes a look for the rune, sees it's not there, which means he knows, yeah. With that dire observer ward from EG watching the top river, he can just put one and one together and realize that Fnatic have themselves a rune. Because this is going to make him be a little bit more cautious until they also see that rune. To this point, Notal, this is the vision. Oh, no. Vision the dire side saw him as he came up. MSS could see him over. So they know Notal's got himself a DD rune. He's only got the smoke though, so there's no... he's only got the dust, so there's no smoke. Oh, that's a nice little stack for Era. Cooldown going to work with 1 level in Flag Cannon. Some really good farm. Might have to use a Rocket Barrage for this as well. Just for those big guys on the front lines. Doesn't have a Flag Cannon on such a low cooldown timer anymore. But Era really going to go to work on this, and this is some good. That's a straight level 1. He's able to get himself some good consumables from this as well. Jo attempting arrow, and he'll connect. Universe hunting on Fly. The courier sent back straight away. Dust will pop off. They can see Universe running out of here, but at the same time, Era doesn't have life points to try and fight this. He's been farming up with his call down, the stack. Notal hides in the tree lines. Now he'll go invis. Good timing too. Universe would love to track him up, and then that sandstorm doesn't provide any kind of cover. Jo will just fly a fishing arrow, but Notal able to sense and dodge. But EG have moved all 5 players now down to this bottom lane. The bounty pulled from the top. You pull the Beastmaster in through from the mid. With the 2 points up in the inner beast early on. He only got 1 point up in the core of the wild. We're not looking at any boars, not looking at any kind of fight like that. There's 1 point up for the Scout Hawk. And the other 2 points going into the inner beast means it's meant to be for tower taking. Honey's doing as much damage to this middle lane as possible. There goes the tier 1 tower in the bottom lane. The TP back towards the mid's going to be fogged. He TP's into the tier 2, which means we'll have a frontal TP. Or we won't. There's actually another TP. That's the Earthshaker into the tier 2 in the mid as well. No one's TP'd into tier 1. So they're setting Earthshaker up high, CM inside the tree line, and now Mirana ultimate. Trying to get him in even closer without being detected. ES Fissure catches Fly, Honey, and Notal. Roar over to Honey. Fly already goes down from the axis from MSS. The tower still remains alive, and it's in deny range as well. Mirana Rollman's still in effect, even though University's, okay, he's going to pick up the Forest Spirits. Those Forest Spirits are meant to go in there and have at least some random attempt at bringing down that tier 1 tower. But EG, really good prep work. They knew when they wanted to defend. The timing was a little bit more delay, which worked for them. Brings the tower within deny range too, so they're going to finish this all sucker off. Yeah. I think they were just trying to make sure they didn't need to bring anybody else into that. But then again, with the TP of Jo up towards the top lane, it puts his on cooldown. Two TPs, two new wards for Sand King. Still hasn't finished up his wand. No arcane boots for his team, and we will be seeing Hani go for his standard build. Whoop, troll for Era. Attacked, tracked, fogged, or into the frostbite. Throws the ult down as well. The revenge is meant to come through with the cooldown. Some decent damage to Fogged, and a good jump in by Trixie. He'll at least get some revenge for his carry. The rocket goes over towards Universe, but he's got invis, so he'll be fine. So homing missile connected first. Trixie's got no way to get up here. He does have dust, but he doesn't want to take the guess for it. Universe hiding in the tree line a little bit further down. Invoker was able to solo kill up the Beastmaster. So we had a little bit of use of Ice Wall. The Forest Spirit's going to work too. Won't be surprised if there was a cold snap in that. And Beastmaster died right back behind the tier 1 tower where it used to be. There's Jo up on that top lane trying to find his space. Universe trying to find kills. Looking for Trixie's going to find himself an illusion rune. It's going to go nicely into his bottle too. And when Universe gonna... Is he? No. He can't really. The only support he's got is Fogged. And Fogged, while the damage output's kind of nice from a Crystal Maiden, she has gone 2-2-2-1 build. Which means there's no high levels up in the Frost of both the Blast as well as the Bite. Or the Nova. And Hani. Orchid. Almost there. Really early Orchid as well. It's going to be very problematic for the EG lineup. Beastmaster unable to get Roars off. That basically takes away their biggest primary initiator next to the Fissure. No-Tal, Burrow Strike. That's a level 4. Sunstrike, Rocket, Jo. Clockwork's going to latch himself in. He connected to No-Tal, which meant there had to be one more right-click that did come out from No-Tal himself. But that should have been something that Jo was very much aware of. The problem when you have a hero like a Mirana, you have to turn before you can use your escape mechanism. And now they're going to go in deeper. 4 levels Burrow Strike. Epicenter. Yeah, No-Tal's going to channel it. He wants to ensure this kill on MSS. And any kind of support that comes in, deter them as well. Which was Fogged with his Crystal Nova. Keeping them away. Trixie will tank up the creep wave, which gives Hani his Forest Spirits, as well as Hero No-Tal, time to get rid of this tier 1 tower. So some really good initiations coming out, picking up 2 core heroes of EG. The Mirana just getting a little bit too overconfident in her lane. And the Beastmaster coming in to defend the tier 1 tower with support not being there in time. And Fnatic being very hyper-aggressive with that SK, allowing themselves just to dive in. And now No-Tal could buy himself up something nice. Or did he? No, he's 2-1. Yeah, but he bought Arcane Boots, which means rotation galore. And enough mana pool to do a proper Burrow Strike into an Epicenter with some Sandstorms. And then still have enough to do it all over again. Not with the Epicenter, obviously, still on cooldown, but other way to go around it being just the man with the Burrow Strike and Sandstorm. English being horrible today, especially when I say it like that on purpose. Trixie now with a Blade Mail. So now EG, they've got another problem to worry about. Trixie jumping in at level 9, having a high level up in the Battery Assault, and then not being able to attack him and kill him off. Because the second they do, they bring him the Wrath that is the Blade Mail effect. Hani's back again on that bottom lane. Orchid is fully in hand. So a pre-15-minute Orchid. Jo comes down this bottom lane. Looks like he's got some extra support. Universe going to go Invis, Sphere. It's going to be a long-range Fissure initiation. Hani, he needs to back up now, like right now. Too late. Arrow flies down. It'll connect. Hani, oh, he might have enough space. No, there's attack. Burrow Strike will come out. And Universe, he's still in range of the tower, but the Cold Snap. He got it off in time, so becomes an Invoker for the Bounty Hunter. Rockets flying down. They'll see the Jo. They ran down further south. Trixie not in range for a hook, and both Jo and Fear will TP out of this one. And up to the top lane to stop Era from doing his thing. Fierce Fissure, not in range.
Radiant's middle
Jayo with an
tower
arrow,
is
you
under
could try and fish for it, but you're going to see it coming, especially now with an Observer Ward.
Dire's
We'll even
top
see him
tower
back
is
up.
under attack.
MSS TPing out. Notal won't get there in time. And Trixie didn't really have a line. That ball was in his way, so he wasn't quite sure if he can get the hook shot off or not. He also didn't have the perfect vision. The warding for the rune spots is only EG's. You got one up on the top rune, and then one just watching a little bit further down. Doesn't hit the rune, but watches the lanes at least. So Trixie, now he's having some fun with Fogged. And Fogged, yeah, Frostbite, Arrow, Clockwork gets the kill. The Blade Mail, the Battery Assault still going from him. Bounty will get the pick off. That's a very over-aggressive Clockwork, but at the same time it's buying space for Ira to farm up. I'm still feeling Fnatic. They're the ones who have the control of this game. EG is not picking any of these fights. They're counter-initiating. Even that middle lane fight when there was a three-man feature, that was still a counter move. The push was coming out from Fnatic. They were the ones saying, we want to do this. And EG were the guys that had to come back and say, oh, we don't want you to do this. We want you to back up a little bit more, and we want also to take a couple of your kills, a couple of your life points when you do so. Fear and Fogged. Down to the bottom lane. We're coming up here. We've got a mech recipe over on that courier too. Belonging to MSS, so Beastmaster. You want to have that a lot sooner rather than later. Especially with the 5-man group up now from Fnatic. This is that combination we're talking about. You've got Epicenter, which is up and running. There's no Blink Dagger to get in, but that's fine. With the call down from here in the control. Lichu has his ultimate as well. 4 points up in the Nova. Or Frost Blast. See, now I'm actually backing myself. I'm not backing myself. Mirana ulti, they're going to come in. Their Sentry Ward's down. Raw goes over on Hani. Ira, cooldown's going to go. Clockwork lights it, and they're really locked in the tree line. Fly, he's not sure of the bounce possibilities. Fearless off the Echo Slam. Nice and decent, but there's your bounce up. Kills off here, back to the universe, and even uses the Hawk of Beastmaster. It gives him a triple kill in this matchup. With Hani taking another. Fear throws the Fidgets out, just trying to keep him away. Cog's going to burn Jayo a little bit. There's a battery still available, but not another jump in to come from Trixie. But with the rockets, they keep tabs on Fear as well as Jayo. And Fnatic, they're going to be ecstatic with that fight. And the Epicenter did its work. Lich ulti was in the perfect position. And that Hawk that just sat there on the side too. It wasn't the cleanest combo in the world, but it got the job done there from Fnatic. And Trixie's going to be backing himself up into the jungle. Still got his Blade Mail. What else is he going to be buying up after picking up some Strength Threads? We're going to Fly with a headdress. So he's going to buy the mech for his team as this Lich. Ira's building into a BKB by the looks of it. Considering there's only the Raw that goes through BKB, I'm all for that. Almost looks like it's going to be a Yasha from the Mirana. At this point in the game, Diffuser Blade won't be enough. Shaker Fierce trying to afford himself up a 4-star. Realizing a Blink Dagger really isn't an option, he's going to jump in, throw the Echo Slam. As we saw before, his Echo Slam was decent. But he just didn't have much after that point. So he needed to go the Bracer to try and survive once he gets in there, so he can throw out the Fidget, he can do some totems, and then do some damage as well. The movement coming out here from Hani. If they look a little bit further up, they find MSS. So hook shot in. At the same time, a little bit further down, Jayo's going to die up again. MSS. There's your Deafening Blast. Try and push him through. The Cogs call down first hit. It's too far away. Notal Burrow Strike. 3 seconds. 2 seconds. 1 second. He's going to keep clear of the ball. And the Frost from the Lich allows him to stay in range. They need that right click. They're using the flat cannon from Ira to get the right click in. While Clockwork, the Cogs, is keeping Crystal Maiden away. The good vision there from Fear. The Fear might lose his own life. He picked up the SK. The tracks there, which gives Fear the movement speed to get himself away. The Invoker's already managed to pick up one right now. Has he got Sunstrike? Yeah, I'm looking for it. Right on top of Fear. Clockwork's Rocket flew in as well. And Universe is backing up.
Is under attack.
And they will take the tier 2 tower now. 3 range creeps as well as a catapult. Rockets flying in on top of Ash. That's coming down bottom lane. They want this creep wave on bottom to also push in. The top lane tier 2 tower falls. The mid tier 2 tower also high on the priority list. It keeps EG out of their jungle because they have no out of position. Coming up towards the northern part of the map. Want that give for nice a wall of ice. Invoker can summon one, but he won't do it for the other team. Maybe now we answered our question from Game of Thrones. How did that great bloody wall of ice get there? Invoker! Attacking on the towers. Forge Spirit's trying to go to work here. Oh. Where? What? Why? Oh. It was shopping on the side shop. Oh, that's gotta be frustrating. Especially considering Hani just picked himself up an Aghanim Scepter and does not want to go back to base. They just got the courier killed. BKB from here is a little bit further away. Was that... Who was even buying for that one? Had to be Clockwork. With 2k gold up on him, he had to be buying something else up. Mid-tier 2 tower still down nonetheless. Fly, Clockwork, nice latch in. Catching out Fogged. The Blade Mail's down. There's no way he can survive through that one. They put down a Sentry Ward in case they're trying to use them run. Older to come out. Arrow flies as well. Not going to connect. The Hawk is trying to keep tabs on them while they're moving down and out. And you know the reason why is because they're looking towards Roshan. The Hawk is watching him for EG. And Fnatic, they're not going to go in. There's the jump back to base. Hani won his Aghanim Scepter with the courier down for so long. All fly. Back into a corner. He wants more players from EG to come down here. He's going to get arrowed. That's a long enough stun. He'll never get his Chain Frost off. And now EG with the Lich on the sidelines. They can't really consider Roshan. Clockwork is still too powerful for them. When he jumps in, throws the cogs, they'll split and bump up the hills. But they do still have Roar available. And now, there she goes on Trixie. They bring down Clockwork as well with the arrow from Jo. Now it's Fnatic who find themselves caught out of position. And EG, they could give her a shot. They still only get 2 points up in the inner beast, but that's enough. But they're not committing straight away, which means it's already too late. Lich will respawn back up again. SK just managed to snipe himself out an Invis rune. Another problem then for EG. Call down being used just to keep the rest of EG away from this mid. SK is coming in through the rear. There's a dire sentry ward that will watch for him though if he does come in. And the ping's already coming out from Fear, almost exactly on the position that SK is. The BKB purchase up from Era. Courier, still dead. And again, we got that little bug timer. Doesn't show it up. Sentry wards up the mid. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Universe found himself a lot of space. That last attack means now BKB, we have to buy out for it. Courier's making it,
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Why? Miss Micro? Possible Miss Micro. Almost looks like a bit of a Hawk position.
Radiant's top tower.
Like Jara's going to deny out his top tier 1 tower, so that's the second tower now down for Fnatic. But there are only 2 tier 1 towers when they've claimed 2 tier 1s and 2 tier 2s. Look at that frost armor going to work. No tell, no points up in the Caustic finale. I was going to use that to get most of that creep wave just then, Hani. No 4 staff available. Instead, though, with the Aghanims as well as the Orc, he's still got a lot of life points to get through. And high armor points as well. There's the BKB now done for the Gyro, and actually done on the Gyro. While that BKB, the Courier, he's come back up again. Now he's got wards and has the full BKB for the Bounty Hunter. So a little bit of wasted time. Lol. It's a shame I can't select both of them at the same time. And see that field of vision just cross. Yeah. A little bit of wasted time for the Bounty Hunter not having a BKB. Luckily for him, though, Fnatic didn't initiate in on him. Well, I didn't have that BKB, and now it'll arrive for the initiation. Trixie's moving over, regen rune in hand. Wants to find a perfect hook shot. The boar scouting out what's going. You see the position of the boar. It blocks the clear line up. The rocket did see the TP back out again, but Universe was pretty quickly away. And then, maybe he was a little bit too hastily. He double tapped the TP, which means he went back to base again. Well, Jo pushed out the top lane. There's going to be initiation and push on the bottom. Tier 2 tower for a Tier 1 tower, and the bottom lane's worth it for Fnatic right now. They get more map control. Oh, Trixie! Balls the hook. Rocket will connect over towards Fear. They can't get rid of that in time, so you'll have to take the damage for it. With the catapult in the bottom lane, the Forest Spirit's with them too. Top tower's already lost. The fortification's not there for Fnatic. They've lost it. Jo timing, gets it. Well, Beastmaster denies the bottom lane. I'm guessing the Hawk just went to work, but then 3-man caught in the tornado. The call down as well. The Lich Ulti flew, but by the time it actually got there, 2 of the heroes that were meant to be bouncing with that ultimate were already dead. The Beastmaster and the Crystal Maiden gone. Universe popped the BKB. It's 10-second in defense. 4-staff into the fissure. Not even actually a 4-staff. Or at least not his.
Middle tower is under attack.
Just a fissure on 3, but that's the tier 2 tower now lost. That's all out of towers gone for EG.
Dire's bottom tower
DP's back towards the top lane. No tower will hold the creep wave out. Roshan is still alive.
under attack.
And Fnatic will feel very confident to try and go for a shortly. All fly. Universe is attacking on him right now. Clockwork latches up, but he didn't actually hit Universe. That was the intended target. Rockets and homing missiles. Universe, he's gone invis, so he'll just shrug it off. Gets the track. Good fissure block from Fear. Arrow combination. The battery assault's not going to make this easy for Universe. Blade Mount popped up as well, so Fear, JO, they all dish out damage to themselves, but they do pick off the Clockwork nonetheless. So we go 19-12 Fnatic again, though. They still control. They can control the map. They're picking most of these fights, but EG are getting a couple of pickoffs, which almost make you feel like they do stand a chance in this game. I never want to doubt an EG Fear. An EG Fear ES.
Radiant's middle
Let's
tower
deny the mid
has
tower.
been denied.
Got one little gap there through the tree line. He's able to cut and get out of there. So there's 2 of these tier 1 towers that went down that ended up being denied by Fnatic. EG, of course, they got to deny their own share too. Not too many of them, but got the bottom tower, tier 1 as well as the tier 1 tower in mid. Now Hyperstone coming up for the Invoker. So is Hani going to build an AC for his team? May feel the need to do so. The other option is Hani's turning himself into a DPS, but if he's going to do that, he may as well pick up a Monkey King bar. Or something else along those lines. Doesn't need a Hyperstone. I think DPS would be on you. Whoop. Blinks there for Notal. Fierce 4-staff's good, but not good enough to escape from that. Once the cold snap was triggered up on him, he was never going to get an ability off. He needed a totem stomped by him in the space to land off the fissure. But he never got it. The rocket flew right over the top of MSS just then too. I like how he's also subbing up his borers. It's so good having those abilities as separate things. So if you're just like, oh, I lost my boar, I can resummon just a separate boar. So puts the Hawk up too. Knows when he can refresh that one. Universe trying to be held out in this bottom lane just from long-range rockets. There's a Monkey King Bard, not coming up from Hani, coming up from Era. I still want to see what Hani's got. What's coming out in the courier? We've got BTs coming up for Hani. While he's walking around with a Hyperstone. Maybe he just wants the attack speed as a casual thing for now. Because BTs are there, so he can deal with a split push. Couple of SK illusions. Notel sending his first one in. Got Frostbitten up, so Frostbite's on cooldown. Now they send the second one in. And Fogged. Oh, wonderful from Hani. That tornado. He didn't even have vision of that. Or did he? The homing missile went, but that went after. SK's able to get the kill on the Crystal Maiden. But he just had a guess. He had a really good prediction. He got it 100% right. Crystal Maiden caught the bushes with the pants down. 21-12 now on the board. That poor CM. 18 CS. 2 for 7 for Fogged. This has not been a pleasurable game for him. Era back to his farming. Courier's flying in something else. That's what Trixie meant to pick up before. But he can't. He's still short. So it's just this casual Courier bringing in some new items or some sentry wards for Lich. Might have been it. Clockwork is only 115 gold away from having his Aghanim Scepter up and running. Actually, sorry. Yeah. He's got the 1k item already up. Roshan, Hani, tanks it for the team. He's walking around with that gem purchased up by Fly. Boar's coming in too. Era still hasn't finished the job just yet. New Forest Spirits being summoned up. They've got to finish off Roshan. And there's a jump in by the Earthshaker. He actually got the kill on Roshan as well as snatched the Aegis to the Immortal. Notal will use the ulti, but now EG, they got a moment. Lich ulti, bouncing up, bouncing down. Fear is they got to split again. It's too much damage. JO and MSS, it's coming back up again. It's coming up. JO, oh, he's lost his life from it. Still Fear Mr. Clutchman, he picked up the Blink Dagger, and he basically slam dunked Fnatic into oblivion right inside the Rosh pit. The perfect play from the captain. And they want to take this aggression forward. They don't have the Aegis of the Immortal. Obviously, it was wasted during the fight. I'm not quite sure they do still have the power to push down this middle lane. They pushed out as far as they possibly could. Invoker will respawn up shortly, and Fnatic, well, they're not going to be happy with that at all. Bottom lane still pushing in very, very nicely for Fnatic, so someone had to come back to deal with it. Fear may as well. He's going to fish enough mana for a fissure as well as a totem, so he can clean this up quite easily. I think he just want, he doesn't want to push it out. He's trying to save the farm for his carries coming in, so Jo, the man still with no damage, relied totally on that ES Echo Slam being perfect, which it was. And then the rest of the money will have to come in later when they start picking up, well, building into a basher for Universe. Might use his stick charger so he's got the money for it, because he's still quite short of it. Unless he's just back here to heal up. He actually stole that gem during that fight. That was the one that was over on the Invoker. That's why Hani now has two extra slots. Trixie, hook shots up. They catch out again. Fogged, blink, Burrow strike. He actually caught out 2 with that one. Into the Sandstorm. Fear, visual fly, stuns up Trixie's Walls. No tell. Tornado comes back as cover fire. But that's all it was. Moonlight Shadow being used by the Mirana. They want to get him back out to safety again. I think that was just a little bit more fearful there from Jo. He didn't need to use that. EG weren't committing him with the fissure, the tornado. If it did manage to connect, they needed it after that, but there was no connection from Jo. So Jo could just keep his distance. Demon Edge now coming up from him. So Monkey King Bar or possibly Daedalus. We don't have a Butterfly coming up from anybody just yet. Jara maybe later on the game you'll consider it. But if this Mirana wants to get kills and gets kills quickly when Fear does his jump in, he's going to need something quick and killing. So that means it's got to be the Daedalus. But Universe backing himself up now. Hani. Not going to get caught out by Bounty. Universe still just can't find an opening. They have to use his invis again. But while he's walking around with Fnatic's gem, they also knows he won't get caught out of position. Maybe hoping he finds somebody else who's slightly out. And Fnatic are pretty well grouped up. Trixie's only a hop, skip, and a hook away. Well, it's going to be Blink Daggers coming up for others. There goes Uraris. Now Iris is like, yo guys, we've got company. They need Sentry Wars down or something, or maybe a tower would also be a very good thing. Invis detection. BT's from Hani. He's out of there. And with that TP up towards the top lane, EG might just consider pushing that bottom lane. Fear leaves the, Hani leaves the 4 Spirits behind. They're just trying to bring down that catapult, so the push isn't going to be as effective. And they're able to do so. And he'll resummon up his 4 Spirits on the top, so they're starting to split push with 4 Spirits. Rocket's slowing down this EG movement on the bottom lane too, and there's still 5 heroes. EG spending a lot of time with these 5 heroes. While Era was farming up, Ancients picks up the Monkey King bar. TP's back up to top, so it's going to be Fear and MSS. They'll smoke up and move quickly. The boar summoned after the smoke. So he might just be running up here by, well, out of the cover of the smoke. Pings are coming out from Fear saying, just check out in this little region here. That's where Hani should be. Mr. Alacrity, and they found him. Fissure, blink, stomp, roar, chaining as much as they possibly can. Hani, Echo Slam as well had to be used by Fear. They needed to make sure he didn't have time to go invis because they used every other stun they had up at their disposal. While Universe here on the bottom lane, BKB's already been triggered. That's now down to 7 seconds, going to wear off in just a couple. And there's your call down. It's going to be a max range, and then Trixie. He hooks himself in. He's invis right now. Burrow strike. They saw the burn come off the side, and they guessed him. They've got the gem. That's a very expensive kill. The Sentry Ward at the max range allowed that Rocket Barrage to connect. But Trixie's Hawkin was perfect right then. And now with the gem going their way, for an Invoker who dies on the top, hell yeah, that's worth. There's 950 gold going your way. I kind of want to double check it's not 900. Yeah, it's 900. Gem's just gone up. Bloody inflation. Well, Fly on this bottom lane now is 1500 gold. That's going to be his 4-star fully done. Fear's coming in with an invis room. But Fly is already bailing. TP's back to base, picks up the full 4-star, a new couple of sets of wards as well. Leaves the dust on the deck, so he can grab himself a TP scroll. And Hani gets his experience up on the top lane. And it is going to be an Assault Cuirass coming out from him. Probably thought with the speed of the farm that Fnatic were getting before, it wouldn't have taken him that long to get that AC up and running, but it's really taken a long time since he picked up that Hyperstone. Going into the BTs probably didn't help him much. No tail and Fly. Gank and kill time. Satters around the corner. Trixie. Easy farm for him, but they don't want that. They want kills. There's an Observer Ward down. They need to see EG's movements coming into the dire side jungle. Primary goal for them. It will be the Monkey King bar, so not the Daedalus from Mirana. It's probably more just preparation for when Era goes to Butterfly next. But as also is just that damage increase. Universe on this bottom lane. At least he's got himself a basher. If he can get a couple of track kills, if EG can get themselves some kills, he might consider getting himself close enough to get that Abyssal Blade up and running. It's already a level 2 track. Well, level 3 will, if they win a team fight, I'm not going to say it's going to guarantee him the 3800 he requires for the Sacred Relic, but it'll still be pretty damn good. Trixie's still waiting for the opening in. They need to get an Observer Ward down in here. It's the only real way. They've got to initiate in on Fear. He's their biggest problem. Breaching base up against a Blink Daggering 4-staffing ES is not what they want to try and do. So the Forest Spirits start their attack with the creep wave behind it. At the same time, MSS as well as Universe, they're teaming up to bring down this bottom tower. Triple TPs coming in, and it's no towel. Blink, Burrow Strike, the Orchid, it's going to go off as well over on MSS. Mech Charge Tornado a little bit too far down. 3 seconds until the next Burrow Strike. Deafening Blast slowing down MSS, and now the Burrow Strike can go to work. And Era, he can use a Rocket Barrage, but doesn't require one. Invoker will get the kill. The Tier 2 tower remains up on this bottom lane as well. And EG lose one of their core players. And Invoker buys his full AC. So now they got the Aura. Trixie, speaking of core players, can't even get Cogs off in time. Frostbitten up and Crystal Maiden gets the kill.
A little game of freeze tag could turn lethal.
And No Talon Fly, as well as Era, a little bit too late into that middle lane to help out their teammate. So 1-for-1 trade. There's our AC. How long ago before Roshan spawns up at the next 30 seconds? When the big man is up, it's still going to be the same problem. An ES jump in is too problematic, with trying to give him the vision for the timing for it all as well. Or the Hawk from the Beastmaster. Not to mention Beastmaster can also roar into the pit. Yeah, there's your respawn timer, so 24 seconds. And then you got on the other flip side of the coin, just the team fight potential of Fnatic. Both are really scary, maybe even scary enough that there is just no Roshan attempt. Not until it's at least 2 heroes dead in the map. And even then, Fear will still consider a jump in for it. You might also want to consider picking up, I don't know if you want some treads, but I got a funny feeling he'll like some arcane boots, so it should be really, really nice. Run in there and the Clockwork Rocket scouts it out. He just, for me, I'd like to see him with the Mana Pool. He just doesn't really have much. And Agam Scepter is the other way he could go. Just rack up that ulti to do even more. Because it's already hitting pretty hard on the Fnatic. Veil of Discord, another option for him. A little bit harder to get the full-on timing for that, though. Trixie now has his own evasion. So this will be Heaven's Halberd build coming in for Trixie. Already 40 minutes into this game with an Aghanim Scepter Blade Mail. Expecting another item up from him sometime shortly, but he picked it up at the same time. Jay's already got the Monkey King bar. So there's only one hero that can directly attack him. Universe might have some issues, obviously, with no Monkey King bar. Harney's just having a bit of a wander. Kind of looks semi-inverse when you want to alacrity yourself up as well as have like the frost armor up on your teammates. A lot of armor points everywhere. And Harney knows it too. Like, he's walking around with 9 plus 24. They're feeling great. No-Tail's walking around with 7 plus 9. And that 9 bonus armor keeps coming out from the ice armor. The AC helps out, so it's a real big difference. With all 5 heroes, are they considering it? No-Tail's de-warding. It's quite aggressively. I think Fly wanted to give him a 4-star, but No-Tail just used his Burrow Strike instead. He's got a lot of mana. Bottom lane. Oh, that tornado managed to connect. Where's your hook in? Cold Snap. The gem's there for Harney. Jayo realized it wasn't going to be enough with his Moonlight. Shadow Trixie hooks in. That is a big, big kill. Fnatic will want a 5-man group up and push this right now. They want to force a buyback more than anything else. Get Mirana off the sidelines and with a long buyback timer for the next fight. And more importantly, too, stop her from finishing up Amanda style. Because she has enough for an ultimate orb right now. Are they going to come in? Yeah, this will force her to buy back. EG will still consider a jump in. MSS considering No-Tail in the middle lane, but he can't get to him in time. Even with that extra movement. They might come out from a track. He's got 4-star to jump in. Alacrity's over at Era. The damage is already done. 3,500 gold. No-Tail. Hawk gets killed off by the Sandstorm. And Roshan killed by the Radiant, picked up by the Gyro. And now picks up a Satanic Recipe too. Clockwork trying to hook in. With an Aghanim Scepter, it's always worth a shot from Trixie. And he'll even pick up a ball while Harney... Oh, ball! It's gonna... Ooh! It tried. It tried to deny. Couldn't get there in time, so Clockwork will take the Invis rune. But Gyrocopter... Curry is flying out there for it now. It's the Sanjay, so we get the Heavens Harbored fully up for the Clockwork. Courier turn. Yep. Got to go up and pick up that Satanic for Era. With the Aegis Immortal, you have no problems whatsoever not having a buyback. But even then, he's going to be a little bit short after death, so he still needs to find himself a little bit more money. You see it right there, Jari. Yeah, 463 required. But he's got a lot of money up his sleeve anyway. That CS of 294 for him. The highest on the map right now. Mirana has managed to find 250, but with a 1, 2, and 17. 17 assists coming out from Era. Mirana's 247. So a lot more deaths. At least managed to get 1 extra kill, but that's not much to write home about right now. Trixie had a bit of a trial and hook on the bottom lane. Unable to find anybody. Roshan's got a long time before he's going to come off death, which means Era's got the Aegis Immortal for a very long time too. They're just taking their time here, Fnatic. They want the other lanes to be as pushed out as far as they possibly could be. They've still got the tier 2 tower in the bottom lane, and fortification will come off cooldown. In fact, it is ready, so they can defend right now with the fortification, but they want to pick off. Jump in middle lane, Trixie. He doesn't want to go balls deep into the EG lineup. They at least know bounty hunters on the bottom lane, so that's one big upside for him. BKB from the Earthshaker, so that answers our question for our next item up from the Earthshaker. Arrow flies, Era manages to evade. Just using that alacrity to pummel into the mid-tier 3 tower. They want this tower dead. Rocket spam, MSS, he'll be connected on this one. And you think Trixie, he's thinking about coming in through the side. Bottom lane is still being pushed out. Rocket's trying to keep Universe out, and they'll see him TPing out. And looks like Fnatic they'll come back off the lane. Harney, denial, yep. So the bottom tier 2 tower does go down here. Fnatic, they do some damage to the tier 3 tower, but they don't get in. They've only got the tower, 700 of its life points, or 698. So some decent damage by them, but not a landmark position. The tower's now only 1 difference, so EG, they're clawing their way. I'm not going to say back into this game, but they're clawing their way to stay in this game. Regeneration. Well, they need basically needs a Blink Dagger up on that Beastmaster, and we're good to go with the Aghanim Scepter he's managed to pick up. Some really good range initiation. Almost gonna wish it was like a DK kind of move and going into a Shadow Blade. Another way to approach it. Universe. Careful how close you get. Gyrocopter. After picking up that Satanic and now 3k gold, Era should be looking at a new item. Can be Daedalus coming out. I would still prefer the Butterfly though, even with the Monkey King bar up and running. But the choice is down to Era at the end of the day. He could just go all in. With Satanic, Monkey King bar and BKB, like you're already feeling confident enough that you shouldn't die during a team fight. Alliance being drawn from Node Tower to come around the sides. Look at Harney's gold too. 3.9k gold on him. So much money. And they're going to attempt a split push or a creep wave intervention. Well, I want to push up the mid. Era is doing that. Universe again. He's the man that's been charged with split pushing. The off-lane farmer is what he basically is right now. We'll TP back later on when he's able to get some tracks. Everything else just meant to be a deterrent for Fnatic. And there's your TP. He's already coming back now. So straight back into the well. And Era will try and go high ground again. Alacrity buff up. There it is. One attack on the tower. Fissure, arrow, combination, Era. He's still got this Aegis Immortal. Not to mention when Trixie jumps in like this, Burrow Strike. It just keeps pushing Fogged back further and further. BKB from Jo. He's still slowed down. The Sunstrike is trying to have a look for Fogged. And he moves back over to try and help the fight. Tornado will fly. Unable to latch on him. Gyro with the Fissure. Arrow flies. Era has to remain up high. They were able to see that one coming. That Observer Ward inside the base. But they're still down at S-Case. They don't have his epicenter for this fight. And they do not have a buyback possibility on him either. He's seeing the BTs. Or is that Harney's BTs? Just, oh, I think he just BT'd to a creep that died. Probably a good thing at the end of the day. Sentry wards are down. EG's on the way out. They are searching for Fnatic if they just had a straggler or somebody, but no stragglers available. Gyro will come up and heal on the top lane. I say heal, it's just from his attack. Even just cleans it up. He doesn't even need to heal. The Aegis will reclaim. This is still that broken tooltip. I hope Valve kind of fix this one point. This thing. Dota tooltip modifier AI. Middle lane. Trixie. Another jump in. The Fidge. You can see Fear turn for a moment and raise the totem. But didn't drop the hammer. Blink Dagger, 4-staff BKB. And it's such a scary thing to go high ground against. That's why everyone's just being so defensive. They need a pick off outside their base. EG were the ones that got it last time. It was a slightly over-aggressive Gyro. Thought he could do it. Overcommitted Clockwork jumped in. Had to bail out through the top. It was not the desire at any point of the game to do that. What's that new thing? Yacha coming in for the Gyro. So we're going to see Amanda style. If all else fails, use more Gyros. And there's illusions out from them. 1800 for the Clockwork too, so we'll see a new item coming out from Trixie probably shortly. Lich has already got the mech and a 4-staff and 1800, so new item for him sometime soon. And 5.4k for Harney. I almost want to see him go right-click DPS. But he would also be thinking about a Scythe of Vice. In fact, what just got purchased up on the courier? Ultimate Orb. It's a Scythe of Vice or a Skadi. If it's a Skadi, there'll be a second Ultimate Orb. He's only picked up one. And he's got enough money to finish up. He's actually got enough money for a Skadi if he really does want it. I just don't think he wants to run the risk. And having Disable is going to be more important to him. So, yeah. It's gonna be a Scythe of Vice instead. This top lane, Jo, he's a long way out again. Call down, Jo's not going to get affected by this, but the creep wave will get nuked. And Fog can't stay close to this one. Roshan back up again, just under a minute now before Roshan's going to spawn. So the quick speed timer. 3,900 gold still on that Gyro. I'd like to see him buy up. Yes, actually see Eerie, he stopped moving for a moment when the courier returned back to base. No Towel jumps in. Jo leaps away though. So Epi on cooldown. Fnatic know how important it is to get these opportunities working for him. They needed a jump in. They needed some hour of initiation. The Blink Dagger into a Burrow Strike's a perfect way of doing that. The best way for EG right now is Evade Universe. Abyssal Blade fully done. So you get 100% lockdown. BKB up or not. If he can just follow and jump in, Universe, he can take these Forge Spirits. Yeah, I kind of feel he wants him. Especially when they start attacking the creep wave. And they turn over to Universe. Give him some negative armor. Make him burn on Squelch a little. Using the fake clockwork up the mid. Now, Dire Side saw it. They're no fools to this. However, Hani going to get scouted out, roared up as well by MSS. Is there enough follow-up damage with Fear jumping up? Fissure, Burrow Strike from Notal, then into the Tornado. The Sandstorm doing his damage as well, and Era just turns on the flat cannon. Now he can. It was still on cooldown when that first started off, and Fear, he goes down. Clockwork latches down to try and pick up Fear. Force stuff down by Fly. There's your Hex. They even used the Lich ulti. Wasn't required. It's only a 1 minute cooldown, so it's not that bad. But they want the instant stun to stop the TP. But that was already done. But 2 Eras from EG on the sidelines. Fnatic have an opportunity to push up this mid. And look to the tier 3 tower. As I said, Lich Ulti might be on cooldown, but it's off cooldown 35 seconds. With that Scythe of Vice from Hani, the Heaven's Halberd to go into work from Trixie. Era still with Satanic, a full Mana Style now up on him as well. A level 1 Necro unit. Maybe that can defend in some kind of way, but if Era is using his flat cannon, those Necro units will just go. They'll turn on Satanic, heal straight back up again. Alacrity onto Era. They've melted through the creep wave. Fortification. They'll buy time for Fear to respawn up. He doesn't have his BKB on this next jump in, however. And Era, he just wants this Rax finished. Not everyone's back. There's still one hero up on that top lane. MSS got a good long-range roar. With a 4-star too, he can do the work, but they just don't want to fight this. Fissure slows down Era. The range Rax remains. These illusions as well in here for the Gyrocopter. The top lane's pushing, so someone wants to come back and defend this. And Fnatic, this is a trap. Notel and Trixie just waiting for one person to come up high enough. MSS is far enough out, but they're waiting to see who comes to defend for the Roshan attempt. There's Nagus and Cheese at stake right now. A TP drop from Era, he'll take the Aegis, the Immortal more than likely, and Hani will take the Cheese. That means he needs to give the gem over to somebody else. SK's in the neighborhood, he's already got himself a gem. And they've already got too many gems, so they'll give the SK the Cheese instead. Hani's got Fnatic's gem, while Fear's gem's in the hands of Notal. There's your TP's top lane, so Hani will come to defend. They take Roshan, they take mid-melee Rex. And EG have been bent backwards a little bit. Satanic is the build coming out now from Mirana. Short of the money for it, however. Oh, what am I saying? Had the Reaver on the side. The Helmet Dominator on the side. So all good. So full Satanic now up from Mirana. I can still see large problems with this. BKB or not, because there's nothing that goes through BKB, Jared will be able to freely attack. But one thing which does affect him, even with the BKB, now, I might be, yeah, no. He's still going to get slowed and still going to be held in position. If the damage output's enough from Fnatic to pick him off in between the attacks, like Mirana doesn't really attack that fast. You've got Manta Style and Monkey King buff. It's not that big in comparison to what's going to be coming out from the Gyro with the flat cannon damage. And then, on top of that, you've even got Hani. He's going to be dropping down his armor. Those 4 Spirits attacks go through the BKB. TP's out. Quickly back to base. They know that range Rax doesn't regenerate. So they got to always come in to defend that whenever a creep wave arrives. And Fnatic, they know it. And they're going to try and find an opening. They found one. MSS, they need the Hex, and they got him too. He is, however, a very fast pickle, but the Deafening Blast going to stop him. That Haste Rune's still going to work. 4-star away the attack. It's enough. Invoke is the last right click. It came down just that much damage. Beastmaster being insanely over-aggressive, running around like a chicken with his head cut off inside the Radiant Side jungle. Down the bottom lane with Notal. They know they've already done damage to the mid. And they'll keep doing damage as well, especially if they leave like a 4 Spirit behind to help push. They want that tier 3 tower on the bottom.
Radiant's bottom tower.
And they're going to come in. The mid creep wave is going to actually turn off the backdoor regeneration. So Era gets buffed up.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Here in Clockwork, that's a latch into absolutely nothing. Just had a bit of a gander. Rocket flyers. Now the Burrow strike in with the epicenter. There's that damage to Jo and BKB and Satanic. He'll trigger both of them right now. Era, he's still at the Agency model, jumping from Trixie. He found Universe. Blade Mail comes up. Universe continues to attack him. It's literally a case of stop hitting yourself. Era, he goes in deeper, turned on his own Satanic. JR had to back himself off. Jump in by Fear. He's on Era. This will trigger the Agency Mortal. Fly. Now the Lucholi will bounce down. Over to Fog. Over to Fear. Up to MSS. Back down to Fear as well. A lot of extra damage. Era comes back out of it. Lets off the full brunt of his attack. And that's going to be a triple kill for Era. A double kill for Trixie. And a GG for game number 1. Going the way of Fnatic. EG pushing up the daisies already.
Bottom barracks has fallen.
In 56 minutes and 17 seconds. It ended up taking for game number 1, but this is a best of 3. And EG, we'll see if they can come back in game number 2. Or will they be eliminated from the D2CL? They've only got 1 match left to play up against virtus.pro, but if they lose this matchup, there's 3 losses their name out of their 4 games. Which means they only play for pride. Fnatic will get the second win, and that'll mean they play in that 3rd position. Which means they play in the semi-finals, or the quarterfinals, sorry, of the playoffs, which are not too far off. This is the 4th last game coming out from the group stage, so stay tuned, peoples. We'll be coming back to see if it's going to be a 2-0 or if we have ourselves a 3rd matchup.